In 1975, Hall & Oates released their fourth album, simply titled Daryl Hall and John Oates, aka the Silver Album, colloquially known as the Makeup Album. And from that album, the side 2 ballad, You Know It Doesn't Matter Anymore. Okay, I just love the chords that are coming together so far. I think no. Oh God, I would just love to. I'm gonna have to get an acoustic guitar and start working through these as I play along with them. I've been used to see the world with the eyes of two. Staying in C, but changing between just regular C and C major 7, like C, yeah, da, na, C, B, C. You hear that in there. You go, no more window shopping with you. Hear the way his voice is like quivering and kind of this higher tone than he would become known for later. Well, I guess it's kind of understandable that his voice would be a little bit deeper when he was like 32, 33, and the band became like really huge, really famous, and were on the radio a lot, versus here he's like 25, 26 years old. Let's catch up with the lyrics. I've been used to seeing the world with the eyes of two. Interesting lyric. Already I get the feeling that someone just broke up with someone and is having to now see the world through with the eyes of one. Now you're gone. Yeah, I called it. No more window shopping with you. Guess I'll spend another day walking around. I love the cadences on that part. It goes that arpeggiation that comes in. We go from those like open cadence, pretty major 7th chords, and those kind of like slides that we're characterizing at the get go. And then we go through this kind of choppy staccato. Yeah. Guess I'll spend another day walking around, but don't think that I'm sorry, babe. Don't you think that I'm down? Okay. I'll spend another day walking around. That's what I was talking about right there. Don't think that I'm sorry, babe. Don't you think that I'm down? Yeah, wow, it's such a delectable rhythmic component going on right there. In fact, a little bit more complex than I even realized. Like trying to place the bass and drum pattern was a bit. No. Oh God, I love that. No, yeah. C, da, major 7th, da, major 7th, E flat. And that's what I meant to tell you. No. A flat. You know it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter anymore. Love. Oh, I love that. Yeah. C major 7th, C major 7th, E flat major 7th, E flat, A flat. Oh God, that is so angular. So the use of, as I've said in other videos, these songwriters from the 1970s, the reason why these songs were so angular and had those like chordal moments that just like put you into a trance, it's because they know how to selectively work in major 7th chords, the kind of slanted eye effect tonally speaking, that kind of seductive um, tonal effect, and flats and sharps that you don't hear very often, that the average just guitarist in a pop band generally doesn't use very much because they're oftentimes not skilled enough to go into those chordal formations. They because they're kind of off the beaten path, as fret wise. It can be kind of tricky to form, like, say, like a D shaped E flat. It's just not as readily accessible as just strumming a C or a G or an E or an A.
I've been used, you might say that I've been misused.
And I just love the way that he's. I love the element of, like, play on words in this. Let's see. It seems like the lyrics may have repeated.
But I'm not gonna feel bad for myself, even though I'm used.
Okay, I found it. I kind of got lost here. Okay. I've been used. You might say that I've been misused. But I'm not going to feel bad for myself, even though I've been bruised. So bruised. Clever. Guess I'll spend another day. Da, 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 da.
Oh, I guess I'll spend another day walking around.
Really staccato for night. In 1975, you don't get a lot of staccato, choppy moments like this in songs. That it's kind of like a proto new wave effect. It's also quite prominent on the prior track on this side of the album, Gino the Manager, which I could only describe as like a nervy proto new wave song, which I'll have to do some other time. Yeah, Sparks had a little bit of that. Yeah, like in the future. Their knockoff band Jet had a few moments like that, like choppy staccato, like circa like 1975, but there really weren't many. Yeah.
Oh, don't think that I'm sorry, babe. Don't you think that I'm down? I ain't down, I ain't down.
Let's see. Guess I'll spend another day walking around, but don't think that I'm sorry, babe. Don't you think that I'm down? Let's see. The credits on this, which I didn't go over. I guess Sandy Allen is singing backup. I think Sandy Allen. That's. I wonder why they call her Sandy on this. Sarah Allen is the name that I know, not Sandy Allen, but that's what she's credited as on this album. Daryl's partner for many years, for about 27 years, and oftentimes a co-writer of his. She wrote the lyrics to this song, or she co-wrote the lyrics. He wrote the music, and supposedly she sings backing vocal. I need to listen a bit closer for that because I haven't really.
No, it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, I guess that's her behind him, that kind of higher voice. It doesn't matter. Yes, it.
And that's what I meant to tell you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that okay. It doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter. Okay, it didn't quite sound like a woman to me. I guess it just kind of sounded sort of gender neutral. That I couldn't hear it well enough to really make out.
Yes, it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, I love these slides. Oh God. No. Oh God, the way they just kind of like bend over notes and just that pitch bending effect. Yeah. And I love how those two instruments are interacting, that blow, 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 amid the slides. Oh, God.
I guess I'll spend another day walking around.
Oh, that bass is just delectable.
Oh, don't think that I'm sorry, babe. Don't you think that I'm down?
Though, yeah, the notes, it was kind of like what it was leaving out, and then when it chose to come in, it was just kind of, you would have to be a bassist, I guess, and oftentimes, like in a lot of the songs from this era, it was quite apparent that the bassist wouldn't have like a lot of distinct parts written for him, but he would just kind of find his own unique spots in a song to kind of make his presence felt. And he would like maybe come up with, and like the bassist would sometimes come up with like movements within the chordal structure that the composer may not have thought of, because the songwriter wasn't necessarily thinking about the bass parts. And so it was up to the bassist to just kind of find his own unique imprint to put. And it would often be these strange, leave a note out here, but add one here, and kind of throw things just slightly.
Hey now, hey now, you know it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter anymore.
I also like how, as we get near the end of these songs, he starts to deviate from the vocal melody more and starts to explore other possibilities, like other ways that it could have been sung.
And that's what I'm here to tell you. You know it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter anymore.
Funny enough, I always thought that the harmony on I guess I just naturally always assumed that the harmonizing was done by John Oates.
And that's what I'm here to tell you. You know it doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter anymore. Just 'cause of me, thing.
This rhythm right here, this would be great for like a slow dance. I could just picture like mid-70s on the dance floor with some young lady in one of those like big mid-70s hats, and I don't know those hats that they wore. I think they wore like I'm thinking of like a woman dressed up kind of in that retro 30s look that was popular for a time in the mid-70s, with those really huge hats and everything. And when those those 30s style eyebrows were back for a while. It was Hall & Oates, It Doesn't Matter Anymore, from the Silver album. Just misty, beautiful chords, soft vocals, soft chords, pretty key centers, just a bit of slide here, a bit of, I guess I just point everything out. Just mid-70s bliss. Take me there. Let me live in the mid-70s forever. Let's hear another track from the album. The next one on the album, Ennui on the Mountain. Kind of, you can tell where this is going, can't you? Yeah, 50s kind of stroll, 50s ballad. Yeah, Hall & Oates didn't do too many like 50s style songs, but in a lot of their videos during the early 80s, they would invoke like 50s imagery. Like in the hairdos, there's that one where they're all wearing sharkskin suits. Like,
We don't need a whole lot of money. We don't need.
I can just picture him with one of those like square microphone, one of those like 40s, 50s big microphones, or kind of like the the one that he uses. Doesn't he sing in one of, or mime in one of those in the video to One on One, which I think may be one of the many videos that had a bit of a 50s visual theme going on. This so makes me wish I could still wear my hair in a pompadour. Let's see who's playing on this album. This is a little bit before they formed their familiar backup with like Charlie DeChant and all those guys that you would often see way before like G.E. Smith or any of those, like T-Bone Walk, those face. Oh, Leland Sklar plays bass on this. Yeah, Lee Sklar. Another rather unmistakable presence. I don't know if he was doing the bass work that would be really cool if that was him. And Scotty Edwards is also credited. It was probably Scotty Edwards because it had, because it had more of kind of like a funk element to it. Yeah, Brass Fever and Rhythm Heritage. Yeah. And I wonder who is doing the guitar on this. Christopher Bond. And, oh, well, actually the guitar we're hearing right here is probably just John Oates. No one's good, but we love what's bad. Let's catch up with the lyrics. We don't need a whole lot of money. We don't need a Cadillac car. But what we need is a mountain in Montana. 1,000-acre world for the roadies and the girls, but you need a whole lot of money, lots of loot, to tell you the truth. To tell you the truth. I wonder where that word came from. If I do a Google search on that, Urban Dictionary, I wonder if I wonder if that's like an old colloquialism. Wow, really showing his vocal acrobatics, his ability to, kind of curl and twist and squeeze those vowels. I wonder who's giving us the boogie woogie kind of Fats Domino piano on this. Well, it's got to be Daryl Hall. It's got to be our guy, yeah. Unless it's Clarence McDonald, and he's again, yeah, because he Daryl Hall oftentimes sings, really belts, really puts an impassioned vocal performance in while playing, and this is a relatively simple keyboard pattern. It's not like one would have taken from the other. Like I'm just trying to picture this performed live. I do know, as a matter of fact, that they included this in their 1976 tour. Well, at least they played this on their Music Laden performance that's been released. God, the way that he's like these vocal flare-ups and like arches are really adding a whole lot to the musical backdrop we got going here. I just heard some bell. I just heard like some vibraphone. I've been listening to the song for 23 years and I've never noticed that before. I wonder who is giving us that vibraphone. Percussion, Gary Coleman. It just says percussion. I gotta find out what that lyric was about that Ponce de Leon, where that was getting at. Oh, I'm a little bit behind on the lyrics here. Okay. Oh, I catch up a little bit. Getting back to that line, lots of loot to tell you the truth. Oh, we know what's good, but we love what's bad, and it would be ennui on the mountain anyway. Oh, I don't know if it's high or low, but it's round and round and round we go. I don't know what I need. I never, huh. I never quite knew the lyrics to the song, or I don't know what I need. That's the chorus line, eh? I'm embarrassed now. I'm not going to tell you what I thought he was saying all this time. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what I need. Every day we try to get higher, anyway, to the dream at the end. AM airplay and a golden concept album. I'm starting to think this is a bit more about his own industry. It's about. I'm starting to think this is kind of about trying to make it in the music industry. So they pay for what you say and they hang on every word. You and me are just Ponce de Leon, looking for something we ain't never gonna find. Yeah, because the first, my takeaway from the first was that it was about a guy telling his significant other that they don't need lots of money or a fancy place. They just need to buy up some land and own it free and clear and live off the grid. Kind of like what like a lot of, and so in a way I was thinking of kind of like something that would actually be more relevant now than ever, because that's kind of what a lot of people, it seems, want to do at this point.
Oh, we know it's good, but we love what's bad. Baby, oh, on the mountain anyway. I don't know if it's high or low.
I'm wondering with the Ponce de Leon reference, how that relates to his own. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if anyone can like summarize Ponce. Like I vaguely I know about as much about him as the average person, but I don't know what kind of what's like the one. What was like the essence of him, that the one, is there like a principle that his name is synonymous with, that would align with the underlying subtext of these lyrics, or at least with that verse, or that, yeah, that's kind of I imagine that's the case. I just don't quite know how to pinpoint. Leave a comment if you know. If you can answer that more satisfyingly than me. I'm hearing a bit of echo there. But then again, the thing I love about these songs so much is the quaintness of the production that just takes me to a different time and place. Yeah, it sounds like it's recorded in a slightly primitive environment, modern enough, but not too modern. The boogie woogie piano getting a bit more prominent there. It's always as like the song's just starting to play out towards the end, after the verses have played out, after the verse and choruses have played out, we just kind of go into this like long fade where Daryl Hall starts to get a bit more improvisational, starts to stretch out his range more, and some of the players start to get a bit looser, kind of exploring the structure in ways that they didn't throughout the preceding bulk of the song. Hear those guitar notes as it fades out? Yeah, every final note counts. That was Daryl Hall and John Oates with Ennui on the Mountain. Interesting lyrics, concept, and yeah, and great music. And I just love that it puts me into several different periods in time at once. It's like it's nostalgic, it's vintage. It's like vintage mid 70s, and yet it's nostalgia from a mid 70s point of view. I mean, because it also um, like evoked the 50s musically. And yeah, there are some other songs like that I'll be covering in the near future that have that similar effect, like mid '70s, and yet it takes you to two different time periods at once, or nostalgia from a vintage standpoint. Yeah. For more rubies and sapphires from the catalog of Hall & Oates, see the directory of albums by American blue-eyed soul and pop artists linked in the description below for red hot tracks and purples from this Hall & Oates album, the three before it, and a bunch of the ones after it. I'm losing count, all the way up through like 1988 at least. And yeah, and like-minded artists from the time period, including Daryl Hall's former musical partner, Tim Moore, his partner in the band Gulliver, as well as Stephen Deese, another associate of the band, and Daryl Hall's solo albums. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about these two tracks we just heard, the arrangements, the layers, the nuances, the solos, the vocals, the harmonizing, the lyrics, yeah, just the overall beautiful misty aura of them all. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.